So it's been my habit as of late to not post very often. But I am going to post this recording. Right off, I'm only speaking to those true benevolent beings who are being forcibly targeted with technology, things like voice to skull, directed energy weapons. I'm talking to the true benevolent beings who find themselves forcibly targeted against the revocation of their consent. If that's not you, then I'm not talking to you, and you really have no reason to be here. The information is not for you, so you can go ahead and just get the fuck out. Don't have time for the bullshit and the fuckery and the another thing. I have refused and revoked consent for all forced magic of any kind in any form from any source in existence to be forced on any level, dimension, or timeline of my being at any time, ever, for any reason. Now, moving on. This recording is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about a couple of different things with a little bit of similarity to what I've spoken of prior. So, first off, I have realized some more finer points of some of what's being forced. So, there is what is called the Internet of Things and the Internet of Bodies. Those can easily be researched because of what's been forced on me. I'm just going to stop with that sense, and I'm going to continue on. So, the Internet of Bodies refers to things like smartwatches, smart pills, anything, any kind of technology that one uses to monitor their biologics, their vitals. That's the short version. And then the Internet of Things is basically all of those things, along with smart meters, along with smart appliances, all the other artificial things that they use to connect to the things that some already use to monitor their biologics and their vitals. What's going on is that they're forcibly accessing people's biofields. They don't tell you that when they sell you a smartwatch. They don't tell you that when they give you a smart pill. They're not going to tell you that if you use those things, that's what they're using to connect people that use those things to the internet via the Internet of Things. So what they're doing is they're forcibly accessing people's biofields obviously they're not asking consent. They're not trying to fill you in on that information, and they're trying to incorporate people's biofields into the internet. So they want the towers to be accessing alive beings. Now, some of you targeted individuals listening might already know about all of that. This might be old news. I don't know. But part of that is when the Internet of Things, when the towers, when the artificial stuff tries to access the biofield, it's also accessing through your chakras. In addition to that, along with all the internet stuff, the artificial intelligence, there's entities. The entities have been operating through the technology. So obviously there's a lot of problems going on there. They're not informing people. And when you do refuse consent, who runs that stuff, right? Who runs the internet? Who runs the AI? It's a combination of demonic entities, right? Reptilians, demons, whatever, and those individuals who are in human vessels, which are clones of clones of clones, who do the surface bidding for the reptilians. Those are your occult groups, right? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So who runs that stuff, right? So there are those of us who have refused consent. We don't want anything to do with artificial intelligence. We're not going to do transhumanism. We're not doing that bullshit. Unfortunately, they're still trying to force. Unfortunately, they're still trying to access your biofield. So what I have realized is the more you can shield your chakra system, you have a better chance. If you go to lessemf.com, there are materials, different kinds of cloth, and what do you call it? Different kinds of material that you can purchase by the foot, by the yard, what have you, that are specifically made to dampen and or block out EMFs, microwaves, RF, that kind of thing. Some of it's pretty pricey, some of it's less inexpensive. I did find one on there that's pretty inexpensive. I purchased 12 feet of it, and I've been trying to utilize that as best I can. I've also talked about using magnet therapy. I have found that using magnets in reverse polarity work pretty good at, to some degree, interfering with the frequencies that they're forcing, and the frequencies coming from the towers. Sometimes the AI system recalibrates, so you have to try and find a different tool. So basically, it's finding all kinds of different tools, having those in your toolbox, and when one tool stops working or doesn't work as good, you can go to the next tool, right? So what you're doing is you're trying to shield your chakra system. That includes the higher chakras as well. If you are one who uses like smart watches, takes smart pills, I don't know, like if you use things that monitor your biologics and your vitals, well, you're just, that's pretty much you giving them consent. So stop bitching, right? Like if they're trying to target you and you're wearing all that stuff, you know, if you're refusing consent, that's one thing. If you're participating in in the stuff that makes it easier for them to do that, then, you know, stop your bitching, right? I don't want to hear it. I'm pretty much talking to the ones who are being forcibly targeted against the revocation of their consent. And there are entities and psychopaths trying to murder them. Those are the ones I'm talking to. So that's those are a couple of the finer points that I've realized. And when you're shielding, you know, unfortunately, you're having to basically cover your middle. Cover your midsection and find some kind of a tool or shield to wear on your head. Because the AI system, the towers, it's always trying to access your biofield. And then you've got demonic entities and psychotic individuals trying to force shit in addition to that. Right? Here's the other thing. I've spoken quite a bit about this universe, and there should have already been true benevolent intervention from a larger force, and there hasn't been. So I've been contemplating a theory, and you know, I'm still debating on how valid it is, but I have been contemplating it for a while. That this universe seems corrupt. Now, there are things called universal laws. Universal laws are real, they do exist. One of the ways that we know that they exist is because of the lengths that the reptilians and the psychotics go to in order to forcibly obstruct universal law enforcement here. The artificial frequency fence was erected long ago. That was not in this timeline, that was in prior lifetime, or prior timelines. When each civilization reaches a stage where they start getting into technology, it starts to activate the fence. And the more technology, the more the fence is activated. And what that does is it starts to obstruct universal law enforcement and manifested corrections. There should have already been correction and remedy here. Long ago. If universal laws were truly being enforced here, those bitches wouldn't be here. They should have been yanked out of manifested creation long ago. Okay? What they're doing is cheating. They're using the tech to try and rape things things from true benevolent beings, and they're trying to rape parts of beings. Okay, that's not allowed. That is not fucking allowed. They are demons. They are parasites. What are parasites? Right? They're dead things. The only way they can be animated is trying to suck off something alive. Right? What have those bitches, what have reptilians been doing to humanity? How long have they been doing it? the universe itself, okay, now this is where it gets a little weird. Is there any kind of an entity or, in quotes, being running and operating an entire universe? Or is it just a place in where beings emerge? And the only thing governing right action in a universe are universal laws and true benevolent beings to help make sure that those are enforced. Now, part of, so that side of it, where are all the true benevolent beings outside of here? Where are they at? Where did they go? Are they just being obstructed from assisting here, or are there just not any? Because how big is this operation? What's being forced here, the operation going on here? Is it going on elsewhere? And if it's going on elsewhere, in how many fucking places? How long have they been doing this? Right? How old is technology? Technology is extremely old. That also leads me to a point where the universe itself, if the universe itself is aware and conscious and in quotes, supposedly intelligent, it would have already figured out what technology is, what it's being used for, the psychotic, demented, parasitic, dead entities trying to use it, right? It would have already corrected. And seeing as how they're using tech to interfere with universal laws, that should have been one of the first things that the universe did, was destroy that technology. Yank those dead parasitic entities out and put them where they go. It's called non-existence. They're going to love it. So correct the problem if by natural organic order is it somehow obstructed. Okay? The universe itself should have found a way around that and should be making corrections. Obviously, you can't have dead parasites running amok, obstructing universal law manifested correction and remedy. That can't be fucking going on in a universe. I don't care if you think that that sounds arrogant, or snobbish or whatever. I'm sure beings have, at different points in their life, there are just some things you know that you know. And you don't know how you know them, but you just know them. Okay? It's one of those. That is not how a universe fucking operates. There are animated dead parasites running amok with technology that shouldn't fucking be here, that's not allowed here. They are not allowed here. And they're not allowed to be trying to do what they've been trying to do here. Which is also, how many civilizations have they murdered? Have you ever come up... are there any groups or races outside of here that have evolved from here? There are apparently some groups or races out there outside of here that claim to be benevolent and claim to be highly intelligent and this and that, when really, if they were highly intelligent, they would have already addressed the issue of reptilians obstructing universal law manifested correction and remedy. They would have done their duty to take the parasites out, and they would have, in some fashion, assisted humanity. They would have already intervened. So, seeing as how those groups and races have not intervened here, have not addressed the main problems that are being I'll say the things that are being forced here, and the interference with universal laws. Seeing as how they have not addressed any of that, they're fucking parasites. Just like the reptilians are, if they even exist at all. And they've been participating in the forced parasitization up to this point of humanity. They're not there to fucking help. They're not a highly evolved race or species. They're parasites. And they're in places they shouldn't be because they've been raping. Participating in the rape of humanity. They're parasites. I mean, just some basic questions asked of those, if they are real. Some basic questions are: does any of your energy originate from the torture, rape, and murder of true benevolent beings, including true benevolent beings on this planet? Right? There are some basic questions. If you think that you are in contact with some of those supposed races or groups of beings, just asking them some basic questions. I can tell you now, they're not going to be able to fucking answer you. And if they do answer you, it's going to be some bullshit, long, drawn out, fucking take you around the bush, try to throw you off kind of an answer. Because they're parasites. That's not their energy. That's not their knowledge. They've raped that from prior timelines here. The shit's gotta stop. So again, back to, is the universe itself somehow aware and conscious? If it is, it's fucking corrupt. Like I said, technology is ancient. It would have already figured out what's going on. It would have already dealt with the issue. So, if it hasn't, then it's corrupt. And what it's doing is trying to keep in play this type of operation, especially if this operation is going on elsewhere. It's trying to forcibly obstruct beings from truly evolving. Because we would figure out that the universe is corrupt. And once we figure out that the universe is corrupt, the universe goes bye-bye, is immediately removed from existence, and then true benevolent beings are then transported and or moved to their respective universes. Other places that match their frequency, vibration, light, sound, energy, and resonance. Okay? Or the other, is this just a place in where beings emerge? And it's not really a thing where it's aware or conscious. It's just a place. Some think it's a dome, some think it's flat earth, some, doesn't personally. At this point, I don't give a fuck. What if it's round or flat or fucking oblong or whatever, right? That's the least of our problems. The shit's corrupt. Now, this place, whatever it is within another place. So is that other place the universe? Or is that other place a landmass? Right? A large landmass, like some like to think it is. If it's a landmass, I'd still say that even the landmass is still within a larger place. So whatever that larger place is, it's fucking corrupt. If there's any kind of overseeing of universes or overseeing whatever's outside of this place, because of how ancient technology is, whatever's outside of this place would know what the fuck is going on here. That there are dead animated parasites running around with technology they shouldn't have, trying to do shit they shouldn't be doing, right? So what I say is whatever's outside of here certainly seems corrupt. And it certainly seems to be complicit in trying to forcibly obstruct beings from evolving. And finding out the real truth of things. And then, in addition to that, with all the technology and what they've been trying to do with the technology, and forcibly trying to access people's biofields, the auric field, the biofield, some call it, your higher bodies, your more sensitive bodies that aren't necessarily seen with the naked eye. Like, that's still part, the biofield is still part of one's being. Now, parasites don't have any of that. They don't have souls, they don't have power, they don't have will. That's part of the reason why they're trying to rape it. Real, alive, vibrating, benevolent beings have those things. We have souls, we have power, we have will. They're using technology to try and rape. That's not allowed. There should be, universal laws should be in full enforcement here. And there should have been manifested correction here long ago. So why hasn't there been? Right? Those are the questions that I ask, and I ask often. What's outside of here? Why aren't they assisting? Why aren't they intervening? Why is there still forced obstruction of universal law manifested correction here? So those only lead to specific answers. And those answers are fucking ugly. So is it just a place in where beings emerge, or is there an intelligence and awareness, supposedly, of the universe itself and or whatever's outside of here? Where are the other true benevolent beings outside of here? Are there any other groups or races of true benevolent beings that have evolved from here, outside of here? And why aren't they intervening? Those groups and races that claim that they're intelligent in assisting humanity, it's a bunch of word vomit. It's a bunch of lip service word vomit. And they basically they vomit that to try and keep humanity going in fucking circles. It's like a circle jerk. They're not really helping. They're pretending that they are, but they're not really. It's just a bunch of lies to keep those who are really trying to evolve and grow and learn how to get the fuck out of here. It's the parasites trying to keep the circle jerk going. I think benevolent beings really, those who are targeted really need to, put some thought into what they think this place is. If there's any kind of an intelligence or awareness of whatever's outside of here, whether that's a landmass, whether that's a universe, whether that's, whatever the fuck you think it is, and start asking hard, logical, critical questions. Why is whatever is outside of here, why are they not intervening? Why are they standing by while dead parasites are interfering with universal law manifested correction in this place? That's not allowed. You can't interfere with the inner workings of a universe. You can't interfere with the very system that does checks and balances for an entire fucking universe. You can't do that. So, some very ugly questions get asked to the universe itself. And seemingly this universe is fucking corrupt and fucking complicit. Maybe it made some bad choices long ago, right? Obviously, there's animated dead parasites running amok, and they've been running amok for a while now. Using technology that they have no business, that's not allowed here, number one, and they have no business being there. So who's allowing that? So maybe this universe decided it was going to do bonkers, right? It was going to do psycho. Insanity. Maybe it got bored with neutrality and balance. Like, I don't know what happened there. But I know what I'm looking at this place and the state of this place. Something has gone very fucking awry. There shouldn't be dead parasites in manifested creation. That is not how that works. That is a contradiction. You can't have parasites in a place where there are live vibrating beings. There are checks and balances. Parasites get removed once they are parasites, because they have no business being in manifested creation. They have fucked up. They have not done shit right. They didn't do their work. So at the point they turn into, generally the point they turn into psychopaths, and they turn into parasites, they get yanked. They didn't do it right. They fucked up. They got to be taken out. And it doesn't seem like that's been happening, because there are still parasites running amok. So you really have to ask the larger questions, and you have to ask your questions to the universe itself. And really be realistic and truthful with yourself. Maybe even universes go insane, right? They call this Mother Earth. So apparently planets sometimes have sometimes planets are sentient beings, right? So if there are sentient beings that are planets, if you extrapolate, that would make sense that galaxies and or universes would also be sentient in a properly working universe. If they're not, how old is this universe? How old is whatever is outside of here? Why isn't it helping? Why isn't it intervening on true benevolent beings' behalf, right? If it was an issue of, it used to be said in some spiritual circles, New Age circles, that, the beings here have to take care of the problem, right? Okay, well, there are those of us that are here who have been trying to address the fucking problem, that have been trying to remove psychopaths and parasites, trying to correct the bigger scope of things. In that instance, the universe itself should be doing everything possible to benevolently assist the benevolent beings here who are trying to help with correction and help remove parasites and demons and psychos. It should be doing everything possible to benevolently assist us. And it's not. It seems like it's doing things that, let's just say, aren't helping. It doesn't seem real interested in true benevolent beings trying to grow and evolve and get the fuck out of here. Okay? So I think it's really important to start asking some questions to the universe itself, or whatever's outside of here. Why are universal laws still being obstructed? Who and the what is doing that, and the why? Obviously, we have every right to know. Yeah, it definitely, there must be correction and remedy here. And if the universe is corrupt, bitch needs to go down. Right? We need to get this shit shut down. This inverted time loop matrix needs to be fucking collapsed and imploded. The shit's an abomination. Parasites have to be removed from manifested creation. It's called non-existence. They're gonna love it. Don't worry. And, maybe the universe itself decided it was bored with balance and neutrality and decided to go another direction. That's fine. Just don't try and take everybody with you. Right? If you want to fuck up, if you want to do insanity, you go and do that all by yourself. You don't try and take an entire universe with you. Right? That's not how that works. So if the universe decided it was going to go another direction, number one, the universe should have informed everyone of its intent. The second, sure, that you come into this universe, you should be informed what this universe's intent is, and then asked if you want to stay or leave. Seems to me this universe is very old, seemingly corrupt and insane and psychotic, and needs to just go bye-byes. Needs to go nighty-nights. And then all benevolent life here needs to be moved and or transported to their respective environments, universes, planets that match their true frequency, vibration, light, sound, energy, and resonance. So, obviously it's time to go. If there isn't an in quotes, an intelligence and or awareness to this universe, it's raped it and tried to parasitize it off of real, alive, vibrating, benevolent beings. So it's not smart. It's trying to use stuff that it's raped to try and stay. So it's not really an intelligent universe. It didn't do its work. It's been parasitizing. And then it's been using smaller parasites in enclosed systems to try and rape. Like, if you were to look at it like that, like a top-down operation, if the universe is corrupt, can you see how the universe did that? It finds smaller parasites to do its bidding. And then they, they erect artificial frequency fences around places and or planets, whatever you want to call that. And then, who's running the shit show here? They're fucking parasites and psychopaths. So, if that were any kind of a let's say the universe, decided to go a different direction, and then it decided to find smaller parasites to do its bidding. Right? And then, yeah. Anyways, I don't really want to contemplate on that too long, but I've tried to make a point there. So hopefully you were able to understand it. And I'm going to go ahead and those are the topics that I wanted to speak on. What's being forced here, what's going on here is just so fucking ridiculous at this point. And these bitches are trying to... what I'll say is this shit needs to be shut down. This inverted time loop matrix needs to be fucking shut down. It's an abomination. It needs to be collapsed. These entities need to be removed from manifested creation. And possibly the universe, whatever entity or, in quotes, being running this universe itself, also needs to go nighty nights. All of this just needs to implode and collapse, and then all benevolent life moved elsewhere. There should have already been correction here. Okay, so those are the things I wanted to speak on, and I don't know if I'll do another recording soon, but I did want to mention the points of the Internet of Bodies and the Internet of Things, and how they are trying to access forcibly access people's biofields. And, you know, did they ask your consent? They're trying to use your biofield as part of the internet. And part of, you know, other artificial things that they don't tell you about. So, did they inform you? Did they get your consent? What are they using your biofield for? Is a question you really need to be trying to ask. Do your best that you can to shield your chakra system, and be constantly taking back anything that they've tried to rape from you, and keep refusing consent. Till next time.